Well, good afternoon, everyone. To start, though she's under the weather, I want to recognize Regina Malataris. She's our Associated Students President, and I want to recognize her for her leadership. She is someone that I meet with monthly. She's a wonderful student here at St. Mary's, and she was originally scheduled to take care of the introduction, but I think she's kind of got the October crud. So anyway, our students and the associated students do a fantastic job working with our students on sustainability, wellness, a number of different issues, and I'm grateful for the work that they do. And although she's not here, we have some other student leaders here. I'd like to take a moment just to recognize and thank all of our students involved in the Associated Students. So thank you for what you contribute. So to begin, as we begin many things at St. Mary's, let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. It's my privilege to welcome you to this year's State of the College address. I plan on making this a fall tradition, and that we will continue that in the years ahead. This will be a moment for reflection and renewal as we look back with gratitude and ahead with determination. As a Lasallian Catholic liberal arts college, our mission remains our anchor. It is the compass guiding us through both challenges and opportunities. This year, we have taken as our theme respect for all persons, a Lasallian core principle and a value that has long defined our community, and one that will continue to shape every aspect of our work. But before I begin and continue, I do want to recognize several partners that are here today. I'd ask them to stand if able so that we can recognize and thank them. First, to the town of Moraga. We have many of the leadership here. Please stand. I'd like to recognize you. Our town manager, Mayor Steve, others that are here. We could not ask for better partners or neighbors to our Gale community. Thank you for being here today. I also want to recognize some of our friends from the Walnut Creek Chamber of Commerce that are here today. I don't know if they're sitting as a pack together, but I saw them. Here they are. Please welcome Nicole Hankton and Jessica O'Day. Jessica has the distinction of being the mother of a 2025 St. Mary's graduate. So we look forward to partnering with Walnut Creek as well. I also want to recognize the Office of Assemblymember Rebecca Bauer-Kahan. I think Charisse is here somewhere. Thank you, Charisse. Thank you for your advocacy and supporting students here in District 16. I want to thank everyone for being here today. I know we have faculty, staff, we have some students, a few Board of Trustee members. Our community is here, and so let's begin to talk about where we've been and where we're headed. Before I begin my remarks, a brief word about our financial position and institutional health. Over the past year, we have been pretty candid about the choppy waters in higher education, and particularly here at St. Mary's. Upon my arrival as president and the days since, my primary focus has been to build financial stability for St. Mary's. The operating deficits of the past several years must become relics of the past. So we're navigating through the rough waters, and we'll do so together, faculty, staff, and administrators, with our mission as the anchor and our shared stewardship as the chart. The work continues, but to steady the college, we have made difficult decisions and have asked nearly every division to do more with less. Through that process, we've protected core commitments, most notably the work of inclusion and belonging, but none of this has been easy, and frankly, it can be a bit disheartening at times. Colleagues have brought forward worthy ideas that we could not fund, and leaders have rolled up their sleeves to realign budgets and timelines. And I am grateful for the professionalism, the patience, the dedication, and the care that many of you have demonstrated in serving our students throughout this difficult period. Saying no in the short term allows us to say a larger yes to St. Mary's. A yes to a durable future, a yes to student success, a yes to our core mission. Our fiscal challenges developed over many years, and they will not be solved in a single semester nor a single year. But we are on course to solve them. And we will continue to budget conservatively, prioritize student recruitment and success, expand philanthropy, and examine our expenses with prudence. As I understood my charge from day one, when I began as president 15 months ago, we've been focused on setting the college on a sustainable course for the long term. This year's plan reflects our shared responsibility to be thoughtful stewards of St. Mary's resources. We will keep investing where it matters, most for students, while building the partnerships and support that will strengthen the whole institution. I believe firmly we are entering a new chapter with clarity and momentum. With our mission as our anchor and a disciplined plan as our chart, we will stay the course, working collaboratively, creatively, and strategically so that St. Mary's moves from choppy waters to calmer seas, and we create an institution prepared and ready to thrive that stands on financial footing for many years to come. With that context, let me now turn to the four themes that set our direction and define how we move forward: the student experience, academic excellence, access and belonging, and places and spaces. I will end by looking toward the future, a future guided by our mission, strengthened by our values, and shaped by all of us who call St. Mary's home. So let me begin with the student experience. The heart of St. Mary's is and always has been our students. Inside the classroom, they encounter a deeply personalized education rooted in our Lasallian values and centered on relationships, teacher to student and student to student. This fall, we welcomed an increase in new students, and while it was nice to see growth in our new students, I'm certainly not satisfied with the level of growth. We are finding more and more students and families interested in St. Mary's, and this has been demonstrated by double-digit application growth thus far for the fall of 2026. That is a sign of momentum. It's a good sign. That confidence in St. Mary's is being noticed beyond our campus as well. In his new book, Dream School, higher education author Jeff Salingo highlights St. Mary's as one of just a handful of institutions nationwide that are redefining what it means to deliver a transformative, student-centered education. Salingo's book focuses on the qualities that foster student success, a strong sense of belonging, meaningful outcomes, and value. St. Mary's checks all of those boxes. The value of a St. Mary's education is reflected in the vibrancy of our learning. Our students are not just reading about ideas, they are testing them in internships, in labs, in research projects. The first cohort of our Bachelor of Science students in nursing, for example, are entering clinical rotations as we speak, a milestone in our journey to expand health professions education. Across disciplines, faculty are helping students connect theory to practice, all while fostering habits of ethical inquiry that last a lifetime. So both inside and outside the classroom, our students find a richness of opportunities that deepen their education. Whether through music, art, literature, theater, or outdoor adventures, students are discovering talents and passions that shape who they are becoming. Our proximity to San Francisco, the broader Bay Area, and other regions of California create pathways and opportunities to explore, grow, and learn. An environmental science student of ours named Adrian Madrigal. Any chance Adrian's here? Well, we'll have to share how impressed. Adrian scaled California mountains in the Sierra Nevada this past summer to study the effects of dust storms from China. This was just one of several projects that took place under the umbrella of our terrific summer research program, a great example of how St. Mary's empowers students to turn curiosity into discovery and discovery into purpose. Our commitment to student exploration extends across every discipline. Consider Isabella Lee. Any chance Isabel's here? Well, for what it's worth, we invited these students. So. They're probably studying and in class, which is where they should be. Anyway, Isabel is a third-year student pursuing an interdisciplinary course of study with a minor in creative writing. Through our liberal arts bridge program, which provides financial support and to liberal arts students pursuing unpaid or paid internships, Isabel spent her summer working with nonprofit organizations on education-focused projects. Her internship gave her the chance to bring her studies to life. She co-developed a learning resource that will soon be published, combining creativity, scholarship, and purpose. As Isabel said, St. Mary's has allowed her to, quote, follow her curiosity wherever it leads. That's exactly what we want for every student at St. Mary's, a chance to discover their gifts, to pursue their passions, and transform those passions into purpose. The stories of students like Adrian and Isabel remind us that learning does not stop at the classroom door. It continues in every space where students connect, grow, and discover who they are becoming. That is why residential life remains so central to the St. Mary's experience. Students' learning happens in places where students study, live, recreate, and learn. And as we look ahead to the upcoming year, I will continue to encourage the fuller use of the spaces that already make St. Mary's special. The Redwood Grove, Cafe Lewis, the 1928 Pub, the Joseph Alioto Recreation Center. Just a few examples of where our students congregate and spend time together. Building on the strong work already led by our student life colleagues and in partnership with the associated students and other units across campus, we want to expand evening and weekend programming. DJ nights, coffee house sets, outdoor films in the Quad, the Grove, late night recreation and intramural events, more robust events in the pub, watch parties, live music, opportunity to explore the Bay Area. The list could go on and on and on. But it's important that our students are here on the weekends and experience our campus. So the goal is simple. We wish to provide students more reasons to stay, connect, and enjoy their community on campus, and to ensure that every weekend offers welcoming, low-cost ways to find your place at St. Mary's. This is one of the primary reasons why we have implemented a 2-year residency requirement to strengthen community, support well-being, and help students more fully participate in the life of the college. 2 years on campus will be beneficial to our students and our college as a whole. One of our resident advisors, Junior Galilea Candia, described it this way. When you create a welcoming environment, a lot of residents feel comfortable just coming to your door and stopping by to talk. It makes them feel home and welcome. Isn't that what college should be? Home and welcoming? She went on to say that those simple conversations actually lead to trust, the kind that allows students to reach out when something is really on their minds. She's absolutely right. And we're seeing it with our new students this year. More students are joining activities, taking on leadership roles, joining clubs, and finding their sense of belonging. One student who embodies this spirit is Cole Carnahan. I don't see Cole here, so I won't, unless he's here. But let me tell you about Cole. He's the president of Gale Force, our student-led team that builds school spirit and drives engagement. Cole's an honors student pursuing a BS in biology on the pre-med track. He's a busy fella. And he serves as a resident advisor. He reminds us that leadership at St. Mary's grows across campus, everywhere, in the classroom, in the residence halls, and in other locations. Beyond the residence halls, spaces and events such as our Intercultural Center, our Weekend of Welcome, our robust calendar of student-led and college-sponsored programs have animated campus life, from cultural celebrations and affinity gatherings to speaker series and author conversations. from service and faith-based initiatives to performances in music, theater, and dance, from wellness and outdoor programs to career networking and undergraduate research. Together, these experiences invite deeper dialogue and participation, and they provide our students with pathways to lead, reflect, and belong. Strengthening graduate students and their experience is also a priority, with expanded evening and weekend programming tailored to advising and services and career networking that, frankly, every Gale, undergraduate or graduate alike, should find a place to belong and is in need of those services. This is the St. Mary's student experience, and this is the experience that we strive to make the best we possibly can. Turning to academics and academic excellence, our work at St. Mary's forms graduates who pair intellectual rigor with moral purpose. In addition to the student experience, our commitment to excellence begins with our academic programs. Nowhere is this more evident than in our expanding programs in nursing and public health. This fall, we officially partnered with nationally recognized nurse theorist, Dr. Maria O'Rourke, whose professional role identity formation theory and role-driven practice framework is now being integrated across our nursing curriculum. This collaboration strengthens our commitment to developing nurses who not only excel clinically, but also lead with deep understanding of their professional identity and purpose. At the same time, our nursing program embodies the LaSallian commitment to access and equity. We have intentionally designed support structures for first-generation students and those from underrepresented backgrounds, advancing health equity both within our classrooms and in the communities our graduates will serve. Through our partnership with the Gilead Foundation, we launched the first Gen RN, a program which provides mentoring and financial support for nursing students. Participants receive guidance from practicing professionals and compensation for their engagement, helping them persist, graduate, and enter the workforce prepared to lead with compassion and confidence. It's a significant program that we have launched to support our nurses. Together, these efforts demonstrate what St. Mary's does best, combining academic rigor, innovative partnerships, and a moral commitment to serve others. Our School of Economics and Business Administration is growing and thriving. Graduate programs are up 15% overall. The MBA program has grown 22%, and the MS in accounting has surged even larger. Faculty are integrating cutting-edge tools, including artificial intelligence, with workshops for faculty and AI literacy training for students. Speaking of future technologies that will allow our students to compete in the 21st century marketplace of ideas, I will be asking our faculty, through the Academic Senate and our shared governance process, to consider a new core requirement in big data and data analytics for all students, every student entering St. Mary's, beginning with the class of 2030. Once again, the goal is simple: to ensure that every St. Mary's graduate can interpret, analyze, and communicate with data across disciplines and professions while engaging questions of meaning and ethics that are central to a LaSallian liberal arts education. Now, this requirement will not be a one-size-fits-all kind of course. It should be an integrated approach with pathways appropriate to the arts, the sciences, business, and education, so that students learn to use data in ways that serve the common good and reflect the core St. Mary's characteristics. We want to develop students who think logically and live ethically. The Kalmanovitz School of Education continues to meet California's most urgent educational needs with compassion and purpose. This year, our teacher residency programs expanded into the San Ramon Valley, Mount Diablo, and Brentwood school districts, placing 38 St. Mary's students in high-need classrooms where they are learning from master teachers and making a difference from day one. Through Project Clear, a $14.5 million statewide literacy initiative, our faculty are preparing teacher leaders who are helping hundreds of children become confident readers. And through the Mental Health Service Professional Demonstration Grant, our counseling students are serving in high-need schools, providing vital support to young people while training to become the next generation of school counselors and mental health professionals. In every program, KSOE students embody the St. Mary's mission, bringing knowledge, empathy, and hope to communities that need them the most. And this year, we are taking a bold and thoughtful step to strengthen the liberal arts and sciences at St. Mary's. Beginning in July 2026, the School of Liberal Arts and the School of Science will come together and create the School of Arts and Sciences, an academic, unified home that celebrates the connections among discovery, creativity, and human understanding. This unification is not a merger of disciplines, but instead a renewal of our shared purpose to offer an integrated, student-centered education that prepares graduates to think critically, communicate clearly, and lead with conscience in a complex world. By bringing our scholars and programs together, we will create new opportunities for collaboration across the arts, humanities, social science, and natural sciences, while ensuring a sustainable foundation for the future. I want to particularly thank the faculty and staff who engaged in this work with care and creativity. Their commitment to St. Mary's mission has guided every step of this unification process. And I'd like to recognize those in the room who worked on this project. Please join me in recognizing them. You can already see this integrated approach in the work of our students. Sophomore Rose Velasquez, is pursuing a double major in politics and economics, and her impressive academic background led to her selection as St. Mary's representative for the Panetta Institute's Congressional Internship Program this year. Now serving in the office of Representative Derek Tran of California's 45th District, Rose is putting her education into action, demonstrating how the liberal arts cultivate thoughtful leaders who engage the world with integrity and compassion. Our artists, writers, historians, and other practitioners of the art help us ensure the next generation interacts with our world and technology and one another, in my view, more responsibly than we have done thus far. The arts at St. Mary's do not just enrich campus life, they're a vital part of forming ethical leaders who can navigate a changing and complex world. The result is a culture of excellence, one that extends across our entire campus, including into athletics, where our student athletes embody the balance of mind and body. This past year, we celebrated WCC championships in basketball, softball, and baseball. More importantly, in my view, we had a department-wide 3.43 grade point average, with all teams above a 3.0. These are achievements everyone in our community should be proud of. And as we prepare to welcome new student athletes in women's and men's swimming and water polo next fall, we fully expect that tradition of academic strength amongst our student athletes to continue. At St. Mary's, excellence in competition is matched by excellence in the classroom. Third, a theme of access, affordability, and belonging. At St. Mary's, access is not optional. It is essential. Our Lasallian Catholic tradition calls upon us to make education available to all who seek it. During the most recent financial aid cycle, we dispersed more than $26 million in federal student aid. Earning a clean audit from the feds, I don't know if other federal agencies could do that, and demonstrating our commitment to student support. Additionally, St. Mary's, we provided more than $71 million in institutional aid including merit-based scholarships, grants, need-based aid, graduate fellowships, and more to support our students. Let that sink in for a moment. St. Mary's College provided nearly 3 times the funding the federal government did to support our students. That's worth applause, I think. But access is about more than dollars. It is about belonging. It is one reason why our Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion has been renamed the Office of Inclusion and Belonging. This is about ensuring that every student feels seen, known, heard, and supported. Our ongoing work to strengthen these inclusionary themes continues to evolve and is guided by our principle of respect for all persons. That same commitment to access and belonging is powerfully reflected in our High Potential program, which has long been a model for supporting first-generation and low-income students. This fall, the program received a $1.3 million federal TRIO Student Support Services grant to advance its HP Rise initiatives through 2030. This competitive award affirms the college's leadership in creating pathways of opportunity and academic success for students from traditionally underserved and underrepresented backgrounds. It will allow St. Mary's to expand mentoring, academic coaching, community building efforts that empower these remarkable scholars, individuals whose talent and resilience and drive enrich our campus and our St. Mary's community, and students who embody the very best of what St. Mary's stands for and represents. The same spirit of access and care extends to every student who joins our community. This fall, our PREP program, providing resources for educational progress, is celebrating 10 years of helping new students with disabilities make a successful transition to St. Mary's. This program is offered free of charge thanks to the generosity of a devoted parent who believed deeply in creating a more welcoming experience. PREP offers a quieter move-in and specialized programming that helps students feel comfortable and confident as they begin their journey. As Assistant Vice Provost Julie Scaff often says and explained, there is no loud music, there's no pom-poms, just a quiet, supportive move-in that gives students the chance to get settled. For students like senior Kayla Redmond, who first participated in PREP and now serves as a program leader, the experience has come full circle. She shared, and I quote, "Coming to college can be really scary. So for me, it's rewarding to make it more welcoming for incoming students like me." Programs like PREP and our High Potential program embody the very best of St. Mary's. They remind us that access and belonging are not abstract ideas. They are living commitments carried out every day by the people who make this community special and what it is. Affordability is also a priority. Families rightly want to know about the return on their investment in St. Mary's. And at St. Mary's, that return is clear. Gale graduates are prepared for meaningful work, active citizenship, and lives of purpose. Scholarship and philanthropic support are critical here, and I am grateful to our donors whose generosity is making a St. Mary's education possible for students today and tomorrow. In fact, as our new Vice President for Advancement, Jeff Schilling, correctly acknowledged, philanthropy needs to become a larger revenue stream for St. Mary's. This year, donor participation has grown by 10%, with gifts increasing even more. That's a positive start. One alumna's gift of $100,000 was given this year in honor of Professor Denise Witzig of our Women and Gender Studies program. This gift illustrates how faculty-student relationships can blossom into lifelong impact. Strengthening enrollment is critical to our long-term success. It's one of our other primary revenue streams beyond philanthropy. it must be central to our long-term success, health, and mission of access. In addition to enhanced recruitment and student success initiatives, we are building new pipelines through partnerships with community-based organizations. We need to be partnered with CBOs in every way we can to attract students. And we've started several new initiatives. The Giants Community Fund, the Young Center for Academic and Cultural Enrichment in Southern California, the Peninsula College Fund, Prove Your Tomorrow, AVID, or Advancement via Individual Determination, the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Peninsula, and the Chicano Latino Youth Leadership Project. All of these community-based organizations now have partnerships with St. Mary's so that we may enroll students who have grown up and been supported in these organizations. These collaborations help us reach talented students who might not otherwise see themselves at St. Mary's and support them through application, financial aid, and transition to college. We are also launching targeted dean and presidential engagements with schools across the region and the state. Together, these efforts align with our LaSallian commitment to welcome first-generation and underrepresented and underserved students, strengthen diversity in our applicant pool, and sustain healthy enrollment growth in the years ahead. Fourth, I want to talk about places and spaces. So we finally come to the campus itself. Our facilities shape the daily experience of learning, living, and belonging. And this year we have made strides, both small and large. Thanks to the generosity of a number of donors, we have invested in campus beautification, new gardens, cleaner lawns, refreshed spaces that lift the spirit, and my personal favorite, no more signs in trees. Drove me crazy. Drive into a beautiful campus to see signs hanging in trees. Terrible. We've completed upgrades to the Soda Center. You can see it. I want to commend our facilities staff, our CFO, Charlie Foss. This facility has at least come into the 21st century. I think it was in the 19th when we started. But we've provided upgrades to Soda. We've painted historic Madigan Gym. It's nice to drive in and not see the paint peeling off that building. And we've installed the first phase of new security cameras to provide better security for our students and our community. Soon, new Amazon lockers and improved air conditioning in Mitty Hall will meet practical student needs. And on the horizon are projects that will transform our capacity to deliver on our mission. 3 come to mind. The St. Albert Hall Library renovation project will begin this winter and will reopen in fall 2027 as a hub for academic life. I want to thank Dean Lauren McDonald, and I want to thank Don Gibson, and our colleagues in SEBA for relocating to enable the library to operate out of the power plant during construction. It's a big project. It involves a lot of moving parts. But as one donor said to me, completing the library renovation is on a time frame that might be slightly quicker than the Egyptians building pyramids. My understanding is this project has been lingering for 2 decades. So rest assured, I look forward to cutting the ribbon with Lauren when we open the new library in fall 2027. We will also have new facilities in nursing and Philippi Academic Hall, which will provide modern labs and learning spaces that strengthen clinical preparation and student success. We have donor-funded athletic investments, from baseball field lighting to a new stadium clubhouse, that will not only elevate the student-athlete experience and expand game day access, it will also encourage community engagement. I look forward to seeing people from Moraga under the lights watching a baseball game, and it will enhance student life. As someone who lives on campus, we need more things happening at night. So I want to see our students down there eating a hot dog under the lights watching a baseball game. So know that these are more than buildings. They're commitments to the student experience we envision for the future. And the future is what I'd like to talk about next. Specifically, the path ahead and a shared vision for how we will get there. What you've heard today thus far is more than a collection of updates. It's a strategic direction. The student experience, academic excellence, access and belonging, and places and spaces together form a coherent path forward, one that honors our mission, advances our values, and positions St. Mary's for the decade ahead. Now we can look toward a future that we will begin building together as we work to transform St. Mary's into an institution of choice, positioned as the college for the future. I spend a lot of time thinking about the possibilities for our school. So imagine with me, if you will, a health sciences hub for the East Bay. In the years ahead, I anticipate that we will expand our leadership in the health professions, anchored in nursing and public health, by pursuing a health sciences hub that serves students and communities across the East Bay. We are currently exploring a partnership with an external collaborator to provide advanced facilities such as labs, simulation suites, and practice environments that match the excellence of our faculty and the aspirations of our students. This will strengthen clinical pathways, accelerate workforce development, and extend our Lasallian commitment to health equity for the people of our region. I look forward to sharing more details as they become available in the months ahead. Imagine with me a museum of art that teaches, inspires, and belongs to the community. Imagine and envision a new state-of-the-art museum of art, one capable of stewarding larger collections, welcoming major traveling exhibitions, and serving as a teaching museum for students across all academic disciplines. It will be a place where the arts animate the intellectual life of this college, where K-12 partners are welcomed, and where the broader community encounters beauty, meaning, and dialogue, art that moves the human soul. As the only accredited art museum in the East Bay in Contra Costa County, we have a particular responsibility to share our art beyond the campus. The William Keith collection is amazing, and it must be exhibited, seen, and appreciated. Because I find it hard to believe it won't inspire young minds and old to imagine and dream. It's an incredible exhibit. It needs to be shared. The Business School of the Future. We're exploring a renewed School of Economics and Business Administration, designed for the emerging economy and grounded in a liberal arts foundation. The Business School of the Future will integrate ethics with analytics, entrepreneurship with social impact, and human judgment with technological fluency. It will deepen partnerships with employers from the inner Bay Area to the I-80 and I-680 corridors, offering flexible and stackable pathways for working professionals and preparing graduates to lead with competence and conscience. To shape this vision, we will engage leading voices across the Bay Area in technology and business, practitioners who can help us align curriculum with real-world experience. We must take business theory and practically apply this to enrich our students' learning. As one example, former Apple evangelist and author Guy Kawasaki, who I am proud to say I've had the privilege of working with, has argued that business schools of the future must move beyond static plans toward practical execution, rapid prototyping, and the development of strong people skills. Kawasaki also reminds us that learning does not end at graduation. Quote, "If you're not learning, you're slowly dying." We intend to draw on insights like these, alongside the strengths of our tremendous faculty and the values of our mission, to build a SEBA that equips graduates to create value, serve the common good, and lead with integrity in a rapidly changing world. Imagine a campus organized for purpose. As our programs grow, we will begin to rethink the physical campus through a district model that clarifies identity and improves the student experience. For example, imagine a science and health district that links laboratories, sim labs, and community partnerships. Imagine an arts district that brings together performance, exhibition, and creation. Imagine a business district anchored by a revitalized SEBA, integrating entrepreneurship and analytics labs, employer collaboration suites, executive education spaces, and a career hub that strengthens pipelines all across the East Bay. An athletics district that elevates the student-athlete journey. These districts will be connected by a welcoming public realm, accessible, sustainable, and beautiful, so that movement across campus feels like movement through a living expression of our mission. A global economy requires an every Gale needs a passport approach. I firmly believe that. We must deepen our commitment to global learning. In my mind, my vision is that every Gale, every student has a passport, and preferably at least one stamp in that passport by the time they graduate. We will continue to encourage off-campus study and experiential learning, both abroad and within the United States, and drawing on our worldwide Lasallian network to create reciprocal exchanges, short-term immersions, summer institutes, and semester programs. We will strengthen partnerships with our sister Lasallian institutions all around the globe, and we will work to reduce the financial and logistical barriers so that anyone and everyone can participate fully. Our St. Mary's education should open the world, should open the world's cultures, its questions, and its needs to every student we serve. Graduates formed by data fluency and global perspective will be ready to serve the East Bay economy, the California economy, and the world beyond. And they'll do so with skill, purpose, innovation, and ethics. Our world desperately needs that. St. Mary's is an engine for regional growth. Imagine, as California's economic energy continues to move eastward towards Sacramento. The Stanford study's out. We've read it. Bay Area business is moving east. St. Mary's will be the institution of choice that powers this growth from a higher education standpoint. Simply stated, this is our moment. From Moraga to Lafayette and Walnut Creek and north along the I-680 corridor and I-80 towards Sacramento, we will prepare the nurses, the educators, the analysts, the entrepreneurs, and the public servants who are ready to serve the East Bay and the region beyond. We are the institution. We're well placed. This is our chance to lead. We will strengthen internship pipelines and clinical placements, expand teacher residencies and public service fellowships, and deepen employer partnerships with businesses, nonprofits, school districts, and public agencies along this corridor. We will align our graduate and professional programs with the insight of what employers tell us they need now. That could mean short certificates that build toward a degree, hands-on projects with local partners, and work while you study opportunities that help students earn experience and a paycheck at the same time. Our goal is simple here. It's hard to do, but it's a simple goal. To ensure that more Gales learn here, launch here, and lead here. Learn here, launch here, and lead here. Contributing to a thriving economy and a stronger common good for the communities that we call home. As you begin to envision this long-term future for St. Mary's, please know that our values and commitments will not change. access and belonging will remain at the center of our decisions. Investments in people, students, faculty, and staff will guide the investments we make. Our Catholic Lasallian mission will continue to be our anchor and our compass. We need to be ambitious, and our vision can be achievable. It will require collaboration across divisions. It will require new philanthropy, and it will require new partnerships. It will ask us to imagine boldly, to plan carefully, and to execute faithfully. Most of all, it will require us together to believe that the choppy waters of St. Mary's and budget deficits are relics of the past, and that our best days of St. Mary's are ahead. They're ahead of us. And I will continue to remind you, this is our moment. Transforming St. Mary's to be the college of the future is our task. It's our goal. It's what's required. And I invite each of you, students, faculty, staff, alumni, community members, parents, and friends, help us shape this future. Share your ideas. Lend your expertise. Join us in the work. Because together, we can build a St. Mary's that's transformational for our students, and one that continues to honor our heritage, advance our mission, and serve our region with distinction. May our mission be our anchor. May our values be our compass and North Star. May our work be worthy of our students and our times. And may we together build the St. Mary's that our future deserves. Transforming an institution is no small task. It's turning an aircraft carrier on a dime. But transforming an institution is something we can do together. And we're prepared for the work, and together we can build the college of the future. Simply stated, our best days are ahead. So let's get to work on them. I believe in St. Mary's. The times have been choppy and rough, but the future is incredibly bright. And our goal is to create a St. Mary's that thrives. And I believe we know how to do that. I hope you'll now join me for a reception here in the Soda Center. It'll give you an opportunity to meet someone new, reconnect with colleagues, and enjoy the fellowship that makes St. Mary's special. St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for supporting St. Mary's, and go Gales. Thank you. Together we'll get there.